Ladies and gentlemen, messieurs et mesdames, can I have your attention, please? Thank you. It is our honor tonight to have with us Benoit Charette, who is the Quebec Minister for the Environment and the Fight Against Climate Change. And Wildlife and Flora, I believe, has been added to your title. And Parks, thank you. He has many, many responsibilities. Benoit Charette has been a member of the National Assembly for the Deux Montagnes riding since 2008. He holds a bachelor's degree in history with a concentration in political science from the Université de Québec à Montréal and a degree in public administration from the École nationale d'administration publique in Quebec. Mr. Charette was appointed Minister of the Environment and the Fight Against Climate Change in January 2019, and subsequently Minister responsible for the Laval region in August 2020. He is also Minister responsible for the fight against racism. He was appointed to that position in 2001. He is a leader across all of Canada in the way that he attacks climate change and fights for the environment, and we're so pleased to have you with us. Monsieur le Ministre.
Bonsoir tout le monde. Vous êtes, sans le savoir, très, très chanceux. J'ai oublié mes lunettes et j'ai un texte devant moi que je ne pourrais pas lire, sinon le résumer, et c'est nettement plus agréable de se parler de vive voix plutôt que de se contenter à la lecture d'un texte. Vous allez me permettre, par contre, dans un premier temps, de saluer quelques personnes, et vous mériteriez tous et toutes d'être salués. Je regardais un petit peu le profil des gens dans la salle, c'est drôlement impressionnant, mais je vais me limiter à quelques personnes, si vous me permettez. Monsieur Lévite, merci. Un réel plaisir de partager la scène à vos côtés. Très inspirant, votre parcours. Catherine également, toujours un plaisir de Conservation de la Nature Canada, autre organisation qui exerce un leadership au pays qui est absolument formidable. Vous allez me permettre de saluer aussi la présence de plusieurs représentants des différentes nations autochtones de partout au pays, mais de plusieurs du Québec aussi. Un plaisir de partager la salle avec vous. Grand Chief, entre autres, on aura le plaisir de se parler pour une belle annonce demain également. Et autres salutations. Je pense qu'on fait un beau travail au niveau du Québec, très, très certainement, mais c'est beaucoup grâce aux gens du ministère de l'Environnement que je chapeaute depuis quelques années maintenant. Plusieurs sont avec nous ce soir et on se sent définitivement plus intelligent en les côtoyant. Donc, aux gens du ministère, merci de votre présence et de votre travail au quotidien, c'est plus qu'apprécié. Et pour le Québec, la question de la protection de la biodiversité, c'est un engagement de longue date. De vous voir réunis ici au Québec pour ce congrès, c'est une forme de reconnaissance de la part de notre nation à cet enjeu. Et le fait que Conservation de la Nature Canada soit co-hôte de l'événement est aussi une très, très belle marque de confiance pour le travail qui se fait ici. Et dans le cas du Québec, je vous parlais d'un engagement de longue date. On peut parler de plus de 30 ans. Et je sais que dans la salle, il y a des gens qui sont engagés depuis plus de 30 ans sur ces enjeux-là. On peut remonter à 1992, notamment lorsque le Québec s'est déclaré lié à cette première grande convention sur la biodiversité. Et cet engagement-là s'est poursuivi par la suite. D'ailleurs, pour celles et ceux qui étaient à Montréal il y a tout juste 2 ans pour la COP 15, le gouvernement du Québec a joué aussi un rôle au niveau de l'organisation de cet événement-là et on s'est déclaré lié aux ententes intéressantes et très importantes qui ont été convenues lors de cette même COP, notamment des cibles ambitieuses pour 2030. Avant de vous parler de 2030, on se souvient tous qu'il y avait aussi des cibles importantes à atteindre pour 2020. Et au Canada, il y a 2 provinces qui avaient respecté ces cibles et atteint ces cibles de protection de 20 du territoire, et le Québec en faisait partie. Donc, c'est un engagement de longue date qui se poursuit. Et au cours des dernières semaines seulement, on a démontré encore une fois l'intention d'atteindre les cibles de 2030 à travers 2 initiatives qui méritent certainement d'être présentées rapidement ce soir. On a commencé avec un plan sur l'eau, notre plan national de l'eau avec des enveloppes conséquentes, de tout près de 500 millions de dollars qui ont été confirmés avec des initiatives précises qui ont été préparées avec la société civile au cours des 2 dernières années. On a mis sur pied ce que l'on appelle le forum d'action sur l'eau, donc avec des représentants autant secteur agricole, le milieu municipal, le milieu environnemental, naturellement plusieurs autres partenaires. On a pu mettre en place un canevas de travail qui a donné lieu à ce plan doté d'une enveloppe de 500 millions de dollars. Et plus récemment encore, il y a quelques jours tout juste, on a présenté ce que l'on appelle notre plan nature avec une enveloppe de tout près d'1 milliard de dollars pour essentiellement 3 objectifs bien précis. Conserver notre territoire en développant notre réseau d'air protégé, favoriser l'accès à la nature, parce qu'on le sait tous, c'est en étant en contact avec la nature qu'on se donne collectivement le goût de la protéger, de la préserver. Donc l'accès à la nature, ça demeure un objectif tout à fait important. Et ultimement, la mobilisation à travers la société civile. Et c'est sans doute une des forces au Québec de mettre à contribution la société civile pour arriver à des résultats encore plus intéressants. Et peut-être à ce niveau-là, vous parlez d'un partenariat, je vous dirais non pas inusité, mais hors du commun avec Conservation de la Nature Canada qu'on a convenu il y a tout juste une année, en 2023, doté d'une enveloppe d'un petit peu plus de 140 millions de dollars. Et la formule, elle est intéressante en ce sens qu'on parle d'appariement. Oui, le gouvernement du Québec y allait d'une contribution à hauteur conséquente, mais par la suite, ça va engendrer des dons au niveau privé qui viendront à parier. Est-ce que ça se dit? À parier, hein? Ça se dit. Donc, ceux et celles qui ne parlent pas français, sachez que moi aussi, je cherche mes mots en français à l'occasion. Donc, à parier les montants que l'on peut mettre dans cette entente-là. Donc, pour Conservation de la Nature Canada, qui est un partenaire de longue date du gouvernement du Québec, mais également tous les autres partenaires de Conservation de la Nature Canada, ça permet de multiplier les initiatives et de porter des fruits encore plus intéressants. Et ultimement, l'objectif demeure le même, c'est d'aller chercher 30% de protection du territoire, et c'est un défi colossal. Si vous regardez le Québec sur une carte, c'est un très, très vaste territoire. Une donnée que l'on aime bien rappeler, 1% équivaut à essentiellement 17 000 km². Donc, c'est une tâche colossale que d'y parvenir, mais on se donne les moyens, d'abord financiers, mais avec l'appui de la société civile, on se donne aussi d'autres moyens d'y parvenir. La société civile, elle est importante, je le mentionnais, à travers des partenariats spécifiques, mais également pour nous permettre d'identifier des priorités autant locales que régionales. Avec un autre partenaire important, la SNAP, on a tenu un appel à projet qui se termine d'ailleurs ces jours-ci pour nous permettre d'identifier des projets locaux et régionaux qui prendront par la suite la forme d'air protégé. Et sans cet appui du milieu, c'est souvent bien difficile d'aller chercher l'adhésion et permettre la réalisation autrement là, de ces nouvelles aires protégées. Donc, défi colossal, mais avec des objectifs et des moyens conséquents pour y parvenir. Un petit mot avant de vous laisser, la COP 16, ça s'en vient, c'est dans quelques jours tout juste. Et là aussi, le Québec sera représenté pour l'occasion. mais on a aussi financé la participation de la société civile qui sera présente à travers différentes activités, autant au Québec que sur le côté du pays hôte, pour nous assurer de mobiliser d'autres partenaires comme vous qui êtes réunis ici pour la période du Congrès. Malheureusement, je n'étais pas de vos échanges au cours de la journée. J'y serai en partie demain. On m'a relaté des panels drôlement inspirants et c'est ce que l'on veut favoriser. On a tous à apprendre des uns et des autres. Donc, merci pour votre présence et ce sera un plaisir de continuer à apprendre de vos cheminements, de vos expertises et en espérant que vous pourrez également vous inspirer un petit peu du travail qui est fait au Québec. Donc, merci beaucoup. Une belle soirée, surtout bon congrès. Merci. Et pour celles et ceux qui ont rédigé le discours, j'espère ne pas m'en être éloigné trop et la prochaine fois, j'aurai mes lunettes. Merci, bonne soirée à tout le monde.
I want to thank Minister Charette. Minister, you inspire us with your words and your commitment to conservation and the fight against climate change. It's very, very impressive. I want to thank all of you as well. I have to say, today exceeded my very high expectations. I sat through a series of presentations from people around the world, and people put so much energy and effort into this. It just makes my heart sing. So thank you. I have been asked by our organizers in the back to remind you that if you have something nice to say to the world about this Congress, please use the social media hashtags that they will flash up onto the screen. As we start the ceremony celebrating the 2024 Conservation Visionary Awardees, let me offer a bit of context. We are, of course, as the minister said, meeting here in Quebec, the site of the December 2022 Biodiversity COP15, where more than 190 nations reached an historic agreement at the conclusion of their meeting. These countries agreed to land protection targets for the year 2030. The so-called 30 by 30 targets, which commit each country to a goal of protecting 30% of the Earth's surface and its waters by 2030. You see on the screens behind me the celebration after the huge effort to reach that agreement. And I want to congratulate the people on this screen for reaching that agreement. One of the key challenges implicit in that target is the reality that no single sector of society can achieve that goal alone. Not the public sector, not the private sector, not the civic or NGO sector, not academics, nor indigenous communities by themselves can address the huge challenges that we face. Indeed, the jurisdictions that are most likely to meet the 30 by 30 target are taking a whole of society approach, engaging collaboration across all of these sectors and communities. That is the framing we've brought to this Congress, and that is the framing that Quebec appears to be successfully using to meet the 30 by 30 target. As this slide shows you, we have civic organizers, we have distinguished public leaders, we have private sectors such as the Royal Bank, we have academics such as Oswald Schmitz from Yale, who presented this afternoon, and we certainly have distinguished Indigenous leaders with us. The ILCN launched the Conservation Visionary Awards emphasizing this whole of society approach. Each of the awardees since 2018 has worked collaboratively across sectors to achieve very impactful goals. These awardees that you see before you include Marcelo Mena, the Secretary of the Environment, or the Minister of the Environment of the government of Chile, as well as Michelle Bachelet, the President of Chile. She is a recipient of this award. Humberto Delgado de la Rosa, who is a senior official from the European Commission, was awarded a Conservation Visionary Award for the extremely helpful boost he gave in the founding of the European Land Conservation Network. The people of Catalonia, represented by Miguel Rafa, who is here tonight, were awarded the Conservation Visionary Award for reaching the 30 by 30 goal before 2020. One of the only places on earth that had done that. And that entire achievement was done over a span of 50 years. That is, before democracy came back to Spain, there was virtually no publicly or privately conserved land in Catalonia. The people of Catalonia, across all sectors, got together to achieve this very important milestone. The two women that we will honor tonight are also well known for their effective collaboration across sectors and their dedication to thoughtful intercultural dialogue and reconciliation. With those comments, I am very, very proud to commence the presentation of the Conservation Visionary Awards to two remarkable Indigenous women, one from the United States and one from Canada. Our first awardee is someone I first met by telephone about a year ago. Over the past year, it has become truly an honor to know her. As it says on the citation that goes along with her award certificate, Chief Richardson, or Chief Anne, as her friends call her, is the first woman chief since the 1700s to lead a tribal nation in what is today called the Commonwealth of Virginia. She is the fourth consecutive member of her family to serve as chief, a legacy that goes back to the early 20th century. And she has an amazing, wonderful, and completely true story of perseverance. Let the following video tell just a little bit of that story. Please roll the video.
To those whose families have lived here for generations, to those who rely on the land for sustenance, and to those who come to this area to find the quiet and peace that nature brings. We're here today because we recognize the importance of preserving this sacred ground.
Secretary Holland was deeply moved by the event. Along with others speaking at the ceremony, she offered her appreciation for the courageous perseverance of the Rappahannock people and for Chief Richardson's inspirational leadership. The ILCN here offers our congratulations.
amazing project I've ever been involved in my life was working with Chief Ann Richardson to protect Phones Cliffs.
The bald eagle comeback is one of the greatest environmental success stories in American history. Chief Ann Richardson is a very wonderful Virginian, and everybody either knows her or knows of her. I first met Chief Ann when I was governor and started to work in earnest to get Virginia tribes federally recognized for the first time. The sovereignty that we eventually recognized for the Rappahannock and the other Virginia tribes is not only the right thing to do, but it is producing enormous benefits for Virginians.
It's extremely hard for ancestral lands to go back into the hands of those who it belongs to. And Chief Ann and her partners have really brought to the forefront of conservation, quite frankly, the need to engage tribes directly and to provide the resources and support these endeavors to be able to get these lands back into the hands of the people that really can take care of it, that can thrive for the community and for the fish and wildlife.
Slowly but surely, with each parcel of land, a historical wrong is being righted. After centuries of deplorable and shameful federal and state policies toward this nation's first people, Chief Ann is demonstrating one avenue of land back through a land conservation model. As part of this model, it will ensure for the long-term protection of these lands and the proper stewardship to ensure that they are treated with the respect, reverence, and regard that they rightfully deserve.
Phones Cliffs and the work that Chief Ann Richardson has done there with groups like the Chesapeake Conservancy is a global example of indigenous-led conservation that benefits everyone and can be replicated across the Chesapeake Bay and across the country and even across the world.
It takes courage to be somebody who works across the public sector, the private sector, governments, other tribes, to really bring people together on a common goal. And what Chief Ann has been able to do is use conservation as that spear to get people to rally around. And that takes a lot of energy, which Chief Ann has, and determination.
Chief Ann is very visionary. She possesses clarity of thought and purpose. She works in partnership with so many others. She is passionate and strong, yet at the same time, she is kind and generous. She is dedicated absolutely to her people, to her nation, and quite honestly, to any country overall.
On behalf of the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation, we want to congratulate this amazing award for Chief Ann Richardson. It's most deserved and most recognized for all the efforts that you have done. Again, not only for the state of Virginia and for your tribe, but for the nation as well.
Congratulations, my friend. This is a wonderful award, and you're so deserving of it.
Chief Ann, I am really happy to congratulate you on receiving the Conservation Visionary Award. This is a big, big deal, but I can't think of anybody who has earned it in the way that you have. Your advocacy on behalf of the Rappahannock and the other Virginia tribes, and your protection of Phones Cliff forever, not only for Rappahannock members, but for the entire community, is a staggering achievement, and I'm very proud to congratulate you for receiving this award.
Chief Ann, I know that your efforts have never been about recognition or fame, but about doing what is right for your people and nation. It is what you are called to do. It is what strong, dedicated, committed, and courageous leaders do. However, it is nice to be reminded that your work is making a difference, that you are effecting positive change that is foundational. Your tireless work and commitment to your people and to rebuild your homelands, to rematriate and protect the ancestral homelands of the Rappahannock tribe as a righteous and just endeavor is most deserving of this recognition and honor. And I congratulate you, not only on behalf of myself, but the entire USET family of tribal nations. Congratulations.
The earth and everything that was created here in all of its beauty and its power and its amazement will be restored again. That's my spiritual belief. So, if I believe that, that I believe the Word of God that says, I have created you to be an instrument of reconciliation, then all I can do is walk that out. That's the optimum of who I am as a human being. That's the optimum of all of us as human beings. That ability to be humble, to release what you didn't do, forgiveness, and to love not only each other, but our Mother Earth, like we would love our own mother. And if people did that, it would completely transform the earth. And I think that's the message that we need to get out.
Stand here with me. We're going to take your picture. I want you to hold it. As noted on the citation that goes with the award certificate, Chief Ann has eloquently explained that she wants her fellow Americans to know that my people still exist and will continue to exist. They have vibrant communities that have been preserved for thousands of years. The citation continues. Chief Ann has acted to protect and steward several thousand acres along Phones Cliff on the Rappahannock River to conserve her people's cultural heritage, protect biodiversity, provide recreational resources, assure ample supplies of fresh water, inspire personal reflection, and pass on the cradle of life on Earth to future generations. With the hope that her work provides a living example to people on 7 continents, the International Land Conservation Network, in partnership with the Nature Conservancy of Canada, is proud to present this Conservation Visionary Award to Chief Ann Richardson.
Thank you, Jim. Wengapo. I'm from the Powhatan Nations of Virginia, and that means greetings, friends. Buongiorno to you all, and to Minister, thank you so much for the work that you do on behalf of the Indigenous people of Canada and on behalf of our Mother Earth. I highly respect you and honor you tonight for the work that you do. It takes visionary people and people who know how to will power, our spiritual power, to save places that are important to us. And we've been called by the Great Spirit in this hour to protect our Mother Earth. And so it is people like you who make those decisions that affect a whole country, that affect a whole province, that protect the whole earth. I am proud to receive this award for work that is so passionate within me. It's like a fire in my belly that I cannot put out, because I know the urgency of it. I feel it every day. I see it in nature as I walk about the land. I know things are changing, and we must detect those changes and strategize around them for the survival of our people on Earth. This has been such an honor to work with Jim and your crew, the Nature Conservancy of Canada. I was blown away by the Royal Bank. You seem to be in the forefront of what it takes to do this enormous job, and more advanced than the United States. So I congratulate you, Canada, on doing this work. This is a Lifetime Achievement Award for me, because in my world that I work in, you don't get awards to do things. You just keep your head down in the trenches and you work like hell every day until you see the things that you have envisioned in your dreams on your bed come into fruition. And so being recognized in this way, Jim, thank you all so much for this. I so much enjoyed the sessions today. They were like top notch. You go to conferences, some conferences you go to, and you kind of listen to the sessions and you say, oh yeah. But these sessions were like, I was sitting on the edge of my seat the whole time, and I was learning so much to take back home with me, the work that you're doing here. And so not only did I get this amazing award, but I came here to learn and to also teach. And that is what the Indigenous community is all about, learning and teaching. Because as human beings, that's our responsibility to one another, our fellow man. And to be able to be here doing that on something that is this important to us in our Mother Earth. And I felt the love and I felt the passion. And it's almost like the reconciliation just went on out of the window. We didn't even need it, because we all came here because we love our Mother Earth, and we love our natural resources, and we honor them and respect them. And so the reconciliation is in all of that. It's in the love. It encompasses respect and honor for one another, for cooperation across all boundaries, racial lines, governments, philanthropy, NGOs, because we're all working for the same thing. We all have the same goals. So I thank you so much for this. It will be something I cherish for the rest of my life. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
I'm going to give you your award. You're going to walk down the stage, and I'm going to introduce the next person. You did brilliantly. So you can take this home safely. All right. Okay, it's my honor now to introduce the Associate Director of the ILCN and my highly esteemed colleague, Shani Navalka, who will present the next award.
Thank you, Jim. It's my great honor to introduce Grand Chief Mandy Gulmasti of the Cree Nation of Ewe-Istchee. Grand Chief Gulmasti is the first woman to be elected Grand Chief of the Cree Nation. On behalf of her community, she has been a champion for land. As Grand Chief of the Grand Council of the Crees of Ewe-Istchee and chairperson of the Cree Nation government, she has worked in collaboration with the people and chiefs of the Cree communities across EU-ISG to bring the Cree Regional Conservation Strategy to implementation across a territory that covers about 40 million hectares or 1 million acres of land. As a result, additional protected areas were created to reach more than 23% of protection in EU-ISG, with substantially more land and marine resources expected to be protected in the future. We are honored to recognize Grand Chief Galmasty on behalf of the Cree Nation government, Cree Tallymen, land users, and communities of EU-ISG. Please roll the video.
Grand Chief Mandy Galmasty. I am the first female elected chief of the Cree Nation of USG. I grew up in the community of the Cree First Nation of Waswanipi. I am a very proud EU woman. I am very pleased to represent my nation. I believe that it is my work as a mother that drives me to want to serve my nation, because I believe in the care and compassion that we give our families is something that I wanted to bring forward in my leadership. I'm a long-standing servant to the Cree Nation, many, many years, but I'm very pleased with the direction that our nation is going into, so they make my job very easy.
Grand Chief Mandy Galmasty has been masterful in spearheading the recent successful effort to protect some 4 million hectares, that's about 10 million acres, of land for future generations in EU-ISG. Today, a total of about 23% of the area is protected, and that figure is expected to grow substantially in the future. The International Land Conservation Network is proud to honor the leadership and vision of Grand Chief Mandy Galmasty.
I think a lot of people need to understand that the land, when we talk about the land, you know, when you have governments or forestry companies, when they talk about the land, they seem to neglect what the land means to them. And I think this is where Mandy talks about land, that's where our culture comes from. That's where the language comes from. That's where we're able to sustain ourselves through hunting and trapping. We need that land to survive.
Sometimes it'll take a woman to lead an environmental movement because a woman understands the importance of life. And when you talk about EUC, it's a living land. And only a woman will understand and speak on behalf of the land. And I see Grand Chief moving forward in that direction.
Mandy's a very strong advocate for conservation and protection of lands in EU-ISG. And because this has been a file that's particularly close to her heart, it's something that she has continued to be committed to advancing over the time that I've known her. Mandy is also a real champion of the work of others, so she's always very thoughtful in recognizing that the achievements to date are really the product of contributions from a number of people, not only in recent years, but in many years past as well. And so she's a real champion of the work that many folks do, whether that be her children or community members, elected representatives, or elders. She really recognizes and elevates the role that others have played in the Cree Nation government's collective achievements in conservation.
I've been involved in politics for over 30 years, whether if it's local politics or regional politics. You know, I heard about her cause, about conservation, about forestry. You know, I've heard all of her comments on that, and I really admired a young woman to voice her concerns on conservation. And with that, I think she inspired a lot of people.
When she went off to school and she came back, she was more like very vocal. She could express her vision in terms of environmental protection of culture and stuff like that. It's what the Cree want to hear, and she was able to speak on behalf of the elders and speak on behalf of the youth that spoke about, that were concerned with the impacts of forestry and mining.
I do believe that what we've done together, Grand Chief and the Quebec government, is something that's transferable elsewhere in Canada and internationally, because she has shown the way to do things positively with
very tight collaboration between different levels of government with the vision and with local communities collaborating. And that's the right path towards reaching results, towards targets that actually concern all citizens of Canada and the rest of the world.
Well, she is a superwoman. You know, there's no doubt about that. As the Grand Chief, she proved herself that she's able to be up there. And in terms of qualities, what I really admired Mandy is the fact that she's able to connect to the people. She's able to connect with other younger women that look up to her. And I can honestly say that, you know, there are a lot of young women out there that will share that statement that Mandy inspired them to go into politics, because we're starting to see more and more women, you know, go after leadership roles. And this is something that Mandy has successfully, you know, built. And a lot of the people in EUSG admire her for that.
I want to extend my congratulations to Grand Chief Mandy Galmasti and all the representatives of the Cree Nation of EUSG for this deserving award. Your leadership and commitment to protect Cree culture has been inspiring to me, and I'm so thrilled that you could be celebrated through the Conservation Visionary Award at the International Land Conservation Network Congress.
Mandy, congratulations on receiving the Conservation Visionary Award. We're extremely proud of you. And congratulations once again on behalf of the Ojibwe Cree Nation.
Grand Chief, félicitations. Congratulations for winning this award. It's quite an achievement.
Congratulations, Mandy, for winning the Conservation Visionary Award. Janaskum Ajuyami Ayimian Apsis to get Chmapchin as you can, you know, Ajikayam Ginga, who had Stabachun as we Memachiminum Inuit go in a nugget stein.
If an international audience is asking themselves what you need to do to have a success story like this one, I can recommend 3 things. One is an openness to understand who are you working with, what is their culture, what is it their objectives are. Challenging yourself to think outside of the box is key in having an open mindset. In addition, working outside of the scope of legislation. We're at a point where things are critical with climate action, and really pushing yourself as a government or as an international body requires that you go beyond what is in place now. Trusting that traditional and cultural knowledge is as or more valid than Western science, because it is based on a millennia of learning in the field, in direct relationship with the environment. This is not available in textbook. This is not available in university. This is a lens that is garnered through multiple years of relationship with the territory. I'm very privileged to say that we have land users in Taliman that have that information in our nation. Providing resource to these groups and giving them an equal voice to participate in the process is really key. You cannot go in and consult groups. You have to work with them. You have to put yourself in their shoes. You have to go into those places in the forest, in community, experience what they're living, because we are frontline. We are the voice of what we see happening in the forest, with animals, with water, with the air, with the ground. You have to incorporate that knowledge with as much weight as anybody else around the table, if not more.
To present the award, I want to welcome Jonathan Gil-Verreau of the Innu people. The Innu people's Nitassinan is the neighboring territory to the east of Iyu-Ischii. Mr. Gil-Verreau is Vice Chief and Designated Advisor for Land Rights and Protection for the Mistuyish First Nation. Mr. Gil-Verreau, I invite you to the stage to present the award.
Thank you. Congratulations.
As noted on the citation that goes with the award certificate, Grand Chief Galmasti emphasizes that Cree culture and the land are inextricably intertwined, that you cannot be EU without Ischii. She is clear that the traditional users of the land must have a respected seat at the table when land use and protection decisions are made. With the hope that her work provides a living example to people on 7 continents, the International Land Conservation Network, in partnership with the Nature Conservancy of Canada, is proud to present this award to Grand Chief Mandy Galmasti.
Wajagamsa, Twajimna, Nistam Gino Yemen, Ninask Mountain Jid when Jid says you bet Duxandog at Jibet with him Ganji, we have Mgan and Migano. Natske Yemen, Ega, when just we madon, Gagan open man and Hegam snaps Kugat. I want to first thank my nation and the members that have come to sit with me today to receive the Conservation Visionary Award. And I have to say that it is really tough not to cry after watching the videos. I first want to acknowledge and congratulate my fellow awardee. I was so moved by your video. My tears started at Anne's video. I'm so proud and honored to share this space with you and your nation and the work that you've done. I really appreciate that. Congratulations as well. You know, I really think that it's challenging to be in a leadership role because, much like Anne said, it is a position where recognition of your work is few and far between, and you really ensure that you are part of a process that is going to be an outcome that you will never see. You are continuously building on something, and I think that a part of that, for you to be successful in that role, is really to be a servant. To be a servant to your nation, a servant to your members, and ensuring that in that servanthood, you are really listening to the people who have put you in that position, and listening to them and ensuring what they are asking you to do is really central in all of your decision making. There are many components of leadership, and some of the ones that I reflected on in preparing for this evening were really, long parts of a journey that has culminated. I've been elected locally, I've been elected regionally, I've been elected to now be the leader of the nation. It's very challenging but rewarding work. And for you to go into leadership and prepare to be a servant, you have to understand your passion. For me, that passion was really instilled in me by my late grandfather, who was a tallyman, who conserved our family trapline, and really showed me the importance of having a relationship with your territory. And that continues today with my family, with my kids, and I'm really proud of that legacy. The passion that you have to serve your people is your driving force that wakes you up every day on the days that are good and the days that are more challenging. And trust me, there are many more challenging days. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So kind. There are really more. It is really something that is very rewarding in the long run. And you really only see that at the end of your career path. I'm still on that journey, but I've had the privilege and honor to meet and work with many different people. And I have to, highlight the work of two very strong women that have helped make the conservation plan of USG a major success. And the first one is my longtime friend, coworker, Chantal Tétrault-Otter, who is really, I have to say the mastermind behind developing a model and challenging our nation to really collect information, collect data, look forward, and really ensure that the central piece of our work was traditional knowledge. I think that's really important, that's really unique. That was something that she created, and I will not stop saying that about her, and I hope that other people can be inspired by her work. It is really a huge legacy. And then for us to be successful in this project, we had to recruit people. So Christy, I want to thank you for your work. We really worked her to the bone. They went above and beyond. You do not understand the amount of information, the amount of field work, the amount of commitment that it took for our staff to really make this process a success. And to have worked with them and to listen to them and to try to take our government down a path, that was based on their knowledge is something that's really important, and I want to acknowledge this evening. The other part that I think is really important is persistence. Persistence in having strong relationships with our allies, our NGOs, our partners, and of course, one of the critical players in this is really the government of Quebec. So, j'aimerais dire un gros merci à Québec pour vraiment embarquer dans un projet, un gros challenge avec la Nation Crie, qui était des fois un peu bumpy sur le chemin, mais on est au bout, là, puis on voit que notre travail est très important et reconnu sur un espace international. Je suis très fière de vraiment partager ce travail avec vous autres ce soir. I'm really pleased and honored to share the work that we've done with Quebec. I'll be very honest, sometimes it was kind of bumpy, it was challenging, but we are here to reap the benefits. And partnership is about challenge. It's about challenging the status quo. It's about challenging what exists out there and continuing to build on that. And I think that's really important, being persistent and following through with that. The last part, I think, is really ensuring that you're telling that story, because much like Anne said, we are here to teach. We are here to share the knowledge that we've had. We've garnered a huge amount over the past 20 years and really making conservation a success in USG. We're there to share that information and to support and really showcase the work that we've done, but also offer to you the support that we have been extended in this journey along the way. And of course, I have to thank, some critical people that have been part of this process. I mentioned Chantal, I mentioned Christy, but I also want to once again extend our thanks to Quebec, who is innovative and who is always pushing the envelope forward and has recently brought into law Indigenous protected areas. And I think that is a huge achievement for the province of Quebec. Of course, I have to thank our funders that have worked with us. They are so numerous. This was a very expensive project, but I want to thank each and every one of you for Quebec, also with Canada, who was a part of this process and supporting our work. And I have to, acknowledge the most important people who contributed to this project. And those are traditional knowledge carriers, the tallymen, the land users, those individuals who continue to hunt, fish, and trap and support their families through those means are important knowledge carriers that we will always respect and be thankful to, because they not only led the way in us being recognized and having the JBNQA as we celebrate our 50th year of their success, but we continue to thank them for the work that they do in ensuring that the things that we bring forward to the nation are based on their knowledge. I really want to extend that thanks to them. And in leadership, you might be the one who is walking the path and trying to push everybody in a direction, but you also have your support. And my support is really my family. So I want to thank my son, who is here this evening, as well as my husband, who has been able to tell me to hurry up or tell me to slow down or tell me, yes, do it, or tell me don't do it. But he's really been, a huge support to me to be where I am today. So thank you to Mascomton. Tsatsiden. And I would also like to thank the Innu Nation for accepting to be here, our relatives to the east of the Cree territory. I'm so proud of our working relationship, and I'm so pleased that you could be here to present this award to me. Thank you. Thank you so much.
While the photos happen, I'll call Jim back up to the stage to close the ceremony.
Thank you. Really, all I can say after that is enjoy your dinner. Thank you all so much for being here. And believe it or not, there's more tomorrow. We have the Environment Minister of Canada coming to greet us tomorrow. So you all know the schedule. It's pretty much like it was this morning. We'll see you bright and early. And stay as long as you like and enjoy one another. That's why you're here. Thank you.